another episode of Miss Moss the Science Boss. Today's episode we are here in Papa's workshop. So I've got two special guests. This is Luke and Papa. And so Papa is going to teach us a STEAM project today. So for Luke's STEAM project, we are going to learn how to make a Bluebird box. So this is a Bluebird box that Papa already built. You can see that it is made out of cedar, which is a great wood to use if you're going to have something that stays outside because it's pretty weatherproof and it's strong and resilient. And so we're going to have to use certain types of tools in order to build our Bluebird box. So the first thing we're going to have to use is a tape measure. So tape measures are important. They measure to the nearest 16th of an inch. And so we're going to do lots of measurements today because you can see there's several pieces of wood that are going to have to be cut. And your measurement is very important to make sure that you have precision and accuracy so that your pieces all fit together. This is a
T-square.
A T-square. So we're going to use our T-square when we make our longer measurements to draw with our pencil so we have a nice straight line.
We have a drill to drill holes and to make our, for our little perch that we make in the front, we use a dowel so that he can stand on before he jumps in his little hole. We also have a circular cutter to make the big hole so that when the Bluebird sits on his perch, he can climb right in his Bluebird box house. These are finish nails that we use with this pneumatic nail gun. And the reason I use it is because, number one, it leaves no, you see no hole, no nothing. It's a finished look.
So you can see in the side where he's put in different holes, you can hardly see those because it puts it in with such a big pressure that it doesn't leave a big nasty hole behind.
I have a tank which has a compressor on it which shoots the power to the nail gun. And like I say, I use those size nails just for this size box.
So Bluebird projects are a really good thing for you to do with kids at home. Obviously, you're going to have some adult supervision because we are going to have the one thing that's not pictured, and that is our table saw. So you need to make sure you also wear safety equipment such as safety glasses, and then you might need to use gloves and things like that. So we're going to take a look at the tape measure real quick. So if you've never used a tape measure before, the little lines on the tape measures are 16th. So every one of the large numbers are your inches. And then you can see that the inches are then divided up into 16ths. So when we measure these pieces of wood, we are using the standard system, which is not what we use in a science classroom. We use the metric system. The US goes with inches and feet as part of the standard system.
There's your two sides. We've got our sides for our house. Ready? We got a back. Here we go.
So now we've got the door cut, and now they are putting a couple of nails in the top of the door to create a hinge, so that the door will be able to open and close. So it's important that the Bluebird box is on a hinge, the front door, so that at the end of the season, after the nest is done, you can take it out and throw it away.
This is what you call a hole saw. What it's used for is to create a hole so that the Bluebird can go in his nest. Perfect idea is to get the hole in the center of the board.
So he's using this old paint stick as a
Wood
lever
holder
to hold the door in place.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so now Papa is going to take his drill bit. He's replaced his circle saw with a drill bit, and now he's going to make the hole for the wooden dowel to go in that gives the Bluebird a perch to sit on. So Papa just put some wood glue on the end of our wooden dowel that he cut to size. And now he's going to put the dowel into the hole that he pre-drilled. and let it dry. And then that's going to be the perch that the little bluebirds are going to be able to sit on when they go into their nest.
First thing we have is the two sides. The two sides measure a height of 12 3/4 inches. That's from the bottom to the point. This already has a degree cut, and if you'll notice, both degree cuts match. It's important for these two to match because that's what's going to make up your roof. This is our bottom. This is what goes onto the very bottom of the birdhouse. So when you have your two sides, you have your bottom. Now you have now this is what it's going to look like when we get it nailed together. Then our bottom measures 5.5 by 4 1/4. So it's 4 1/4 inches wide. This is the back of the box. The back of the box measures 11 3/8. That's from here to here. That's your height, and it's 4 1/4 inches wide. Our top is our most intricate piece because the top actually has to be waterproof. So what we've done is we've taken a regular piece of cedar and we've cut one angle on it, and that's a 45-degree angle. We've taken our second piece and made it a little thinner. It's 4 1/4 inches wide, and what I did is I put a 45-degree cut on both sides. So the way this will fit, coming on the roof, it'll be like this, so there's no way water can get inside the Bluebird box. This is our door. If you noticed, I got a big hole so that the bird can enter and come out, and I have a little perch that he sits on before he goes in his hole. I used a drill bit to measure the size dowel to drill that hole, and I used up my circular saw to drill the hole so the bird can get in and out.
So we're all done with the Bluebird boxes. So if you can see, they're right behind me. So this one is the template that they use to take all their measurements from, and then the one next to it is the one that Luke and Papa built. So these are completely finished. If you wanted to paint them or seal them or stain them, you could do any of that. You could seal it with a polyurethane. But remember, the reason that we use this cedar was because it's weather resistant and it holds up really good outside. So the only exception we have not done is, if you notice, the template has a little wedge on the bottom. So the purpose of the wedge is to keep the door from swinging open and closed. So if you remember, a wedge is one of the 6 types of simple machines. So that wedge creates a spot for that door to kind of get stuck, just like a door stop that you would use on your classroom doors or on your bedroom doors. But you can see those are the finished products, and it took us about an hour or so to make these, and we'll make sure that we list all of the materials that we used and all of the measurements that we took. So thanks guys for joining us today on Miss Moss Science Boss. See you next time.